Hi guys, just wanted to do a follow-up video. This is day one post-op or post-procedure. Sorry for I had my UFE yesterday, my uterine fibroid embolization yesterday. Really rough procedure, honestly. I mean, not the procedure itself, but my pain was managed so poorly afterwards. So in recovery, I was in just a lot of pain. So I think one tip I would give anybody is to make sure you understand what your pain management is going to be. I really don't think my doctors were listening, and I think you have to also just really watch out for that. Like if you're inquiring about pain and they're not paying attention, especially if you are a Black woman, I feel like, there's kind of a known thing in the medical world where either we're not believed often or we're perceived to be stronger than we are and we need less pain intervention. But I definitely feel like something in that world happened because I was asking a lot about pain meds before. And I did get a nerve block during the procedure, but it was wearing off before we even finished the procedure. And I was left in a lot of pain for way too long. It's hard to know exactly how long because I was in and out. But, the nurse was explaining to me why I was in pain, and they had to cauterize an artery, and they called the doctor, and he was explaining why I was in pain because they had to do so much more treatment on the left side. And it was, I'm literally tears coming out of my eyes, cannot form complete sentences. And they're explaining to me why I'm in pain, as opposed to saying, we understand that you're in pain. We're going to do everything to make you comfortable. We've ordered this, we've ordered that. None of that. I feel like it was a real fail. I went to UCLA, and I would not recommend the people who did my procedure, honestly, just because of their lack of interest in pain management and their lack of follow-up, because the other thing I told them is I live by myself, so I really need to make sure I bring all of my medications home with me. They were like, no problem. I said it to literally every nurse and every doctor, no problem, no problem, no problem. I still did not leave home with I didn't leave the hospital with anything because they didn't order it in time. By the time they were trying to order it, they were running around trying to ask me for my debit card to pay the pharmacy, but my pain wasn't managed, so I couldn't even speak in sentences because I was in so much pain. And then their pharmacy ended up closing, and they ended up calling into a CVS, which my friend who picked me up had to pick up. He didn't know what all he was picking up, so I didn't have my antibiotic. I didn't have another med. It was just a debacle, and not once was I followed up with the next day, which is today. I actually had to call the nursing department and tell them what happened, and then they were kind of gaslighting me. I feel like it was a lot of gaslighting at UCLA, like a lot of gaslighting that you're really in pain, and then when I was complaining, a lot of gaslighting about, oh, well, they couldn't put your medicines in because they don't really know. I was like, no, these are standard medicines. It was like ibuprofen, naproxen, an opioid, a stool softener, some nausea meds, and antibiotics. Completely standard. So kind of trying to tell me, oh, this is why the doctors never followed up with me. I never heard from them. The original doctor who I talked to about doing the procedure, Dr. Stewart, never even saw her up until she got into the OR. Like her attending, her resident came and said hello, and he was also the one they called in the end, who was explaining to me why I was in so much pain, as opposed to talking about the plan to manage my pain. I think they were also very ready to try to just get me home as soon as possible. So like I'm in pain, tears coming out of my eyes, moaning, and they're talking about my ride home. Unacceptable. That was all really bad, honestly. So my procedure finished probably around 3 something, and I didn't leave recovery until 10. And I think that's because they managed my pain so poorly on the front end. It was really hard to get it down. So I needed like 3 of those Dilaudid shots, and they tried to get me to take, I think it was like an oxycodone or something by mouth, and I took like, I'm in so much pain. I like can't even think. So I tried to take it. I wasn't really swallowing. Then I became super nauseous. It was just horrible. I have to say, I don't think that my situation is typical for it. It could have been handled so much better. In fact, I remember when I went back into the room before the procedure, they were all wondering if I should have a pump, and I think that was a pain pump, and they were like, oh no, her patients don't use a pain pump. So I'm sure other people's pain is far more managed than mine. I don't know what that was, but I'm definitely going to contact the patient representative there and let them know. I already filled out a survey and let them know, and I'm definitely going to let them know the rest. But so unfortunately, my procedure was tough on the back end. I was awake mostly during the procedure, and what they call a twilight sedation. I think it was twilight sedation. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit still drugged up. So I didn't feel a lot of pain except for when that would wear off. But the thing is, they had this big paper tent over my head, so they couldn't even see my face, see if I was grimacing, see if it was time. I would actually have to sort of try to say something. I thought that was odd because I'd heard about a lot of people being able to even watch their procedure being done, but they said it was for sanitary reasons. But you would think that there should still be like a clear strip or something for them to keep their eye on the actual patient and how they're doing. I also think that might have led to like just more honestly unprofessional talk during the procedure. So I'm awake and I can hear them, and I hear them talk about, complaining about the space and the equipment, and this other place has better equipment, and hey bro, turn the music up, and oh, are you still going to the Maldives? Are you going to, oh yeah, you're gonna get married? It just seemed like super inappropriate to me. I don't know if you guys have had that experience, but it wasn't like I was a part of the conversation because I'm up underneath this blue, I don't know, like a big chuck, like a big blue paper kind of material that they have at the hospital. So it just seemed super unprofessional, honestly. Like, oh, there's nothing optimal here. We just have to use this. It's like, is this what I need to hear while I'm undergoing a procedure? Crazy. Also hearing like the resident doing a lot of the work and like trying to figure it out, and then the attending surgeon like, oh no, pull it out, try to pull it out more and see if you can see this, and and then taking over sometimes. That was just very disconcerting. I understand that UCLA is a teaching hospital, but that whole thing felt very disconcerting and unprofessional, if I'm honest. So after that, after I finally got out, after I finally got my pain under control, I think after they finally started taking my pain seriously, then the nurse, she was very nice. And it's so hard because when your pain is so not controlled, it's like you can't even complete sentences. Like you can't even advocate for yourself. And I think that's one of the things that upset me the most. Like I couldn't advocate for myself. I couldn't say like, why am I not getting pain medicine? All I could do was moan and like wait for somebody there to see like that I was in need of treatment. It was really weird. It was just like people looking at me like, yeah, you're gonna be in pain. Like we were at Ralph's or a grocery store, not at a hospital where you can manage pain. So that was really upsetting. I am really surprised that happened at UCLA. I haven't had to have a lot of procedures, but they've been my doctors, just that system for years. But that was horrible. Anyway, so that was day one. Well, that was the operation day. Today was day one. Since my pain was managed from the hospital yesterday, I've been able to manage it pretty well at home. I do stay on top of my meds, and I haven't had any adverse issues since I have been at home, other than like trying to get my medicine and realizing I don't have my antibiotics and all this other stuff. Like I said, zero follow through except for from one nurse who was there yesterday and who I talked to today, and she was actually really helpful. And I mean, I did tell her I was going to talk to patient relations, and but she got me, made sure the medicine got to me. But I just think it's also crazy that they do an outpatient procedure and they don't even make sure you have your meds. Like, all of that's on you in the end. So you're coming home from this procedure in pain, and you're supposed to, I don't know, go to the pharmacy and fill your prescriptions. And then if they don't have it, because that was the thing, the pharmacy they called my prescription into didn't even have the antibiotic. Nobody even checked. They didn't even know what I went home with. If I hadn't realized today and read everything about like what I was supposed to have, I just wouldn't have even known to take it. And zero follow-up. And then I got a call to schedule my follow-up in a month. And I told the guy, and he was like, yeah, I don't know, we don't deliver meds. Like, no real care or concern. I don't feel like I don't feel like I had a very concerned medical team. I think the nurses did some of the best that they could do. I think that their lack of treating me for pain was definitely due to the doctors not taking it seriously. And I do not feel like I had a good experience, honestly, with that part. But again, once my pain was recognized and started to be managed, the nurses were very nice. They didn't rush me. They they started to do what they're supposed to do, right? And so she was very nice. So yeah, today has been fine, very low key. My pain has been very managed. I do take my pain medicine on a schedule. That's why I just woke up in the middle of the night, because it just went off. I started off with my opioids on schedule, so I took them every 6 hours, 2 or 3 times. I'd have to look at my calendar. I took it at 1 last night when I got home, at 7, and again at 1. And then I think I skipped the other one because I started taking the naproxen and the Aleve. So the naproxen is called keto something, and not the Aleve, the naproxen, and I have 800 milligram ibuprofen. So after 1 o'clock, I didn't do the opioids again. I just did the other 2, and that did manage my pain. I'm in like just a small amount of pain, maybe like a 3 right now. I woke up in the middle of the night, so I took another ibuprofen because I am trying to go easy on the opioids. I took 2 Zofrans, so for nausea this morning, but I haven't had an issue with nausea since. So I stopped taking that after the second one. I took one last night at 1. I took another one, I think at 7, because it was like every 6 hours. So I haven't taken it. I haven't had any nausea issues. Mostly I've been sipping on water. I ate a banana over the course of the day. I ate like a cracker or 2 that I came home from the hospital with. I ate a little ice cream. Yeah, but I didn't really eat a meal. Everything was very soft today. And I really want to be careful going into tomorrow too, because the pain that I was in yesterday, like, I do not want to ever experience again. It was really bad, and I would not at all compare it to a period cramp. I don't know what I would compare that to. It was not the sensation of a period cramp. It was something else entirely. And it like radiated down my leg. Like, I couldn't even walk at first because the pain was like so extreme and like radiating. especially on the left side, because that was the side they had to treat more. But yeah, so, but otherwise I've been fine. I've been able to go to the bathroom. I've even been able to go down my stairs and stuff. And I think the key has been like not trying to go without pain meds, and to make a schedule, and like to really take them like on your schedule. So I think if you do that, you'll be fine. Day 1 is in the books. Honestly, much better than procedure day. Much better than procedure day. My advice again for anyone who's going through this is to be heard about your pain management. Like, you know, I think, like, I asked about the pain meds and everything so much, and so I don't know why it wasn't done. I don't know if that was perceived as some kind of way. Like, you really don't know what biases exist. So, and I am aware, like I've done, you know, as an actress, I've even done like standardized training and stuff, like where I pretended to be a patient, and racial bias is real in the medical community, you know, whether it's they think you're drug seeking, whether if it's, like I said, they just don't take your symptoms seriously, whether they perceive your pain threshold to be higher. You know, I think it can be even just for women, like harder for people. But my doctor was a woman, but she just was MIA. I've never seen a doctor so MIA. The only time I saw that lady yesterday, before that procedure, like I had already had the thing draped over my head and everything, and she came in just like, you know, rock star last minute, and I was like, hello. And she came over and looked up under the covering and said hi. I don't know. I you know, I have not had to have that many procedures, granted, but very surprised at all of that. And then when they weren't giving me any pain meds, I was like, call the doctor. This is in recovery. And so she's like, well, the doctor's already gone. He's on his way to another location. And then they called him, and he's like telling me on the phone, like, again, how it was successful, and now how I had a large fibroid on the left, so there's going to be pain. No talk of, like, as I'm literally, tears are flowing, and I can barely put together sentences other than it hurts. It's going down my leg. It hurts. Like, those are the only things I can really say. And then being like, yeah, that's why. Wholly, totally, and completely unacceptable. So, and I didn't really have anyone with me, but in recovery, there weren't really other people anyway. So you're really at the mercy of these nurses and doctors, and they definitely should have done better with me, honestly. So I would really just nail down an actual plan. Again, I don't know if they thought because I got that nerve block that I was going to be good for a period of time, but it clearly wasn't sufficient, and it clearly wasn't addressed in a timely manner. But as far as day 1, easy peasy, honestly, comparatively. My pain has not gotten over a 4 all day. I mean, a couple of like maybe shooting pains, but not anything terrible. So this is meant to be both informative, just to give you things to think about for your actual talk with your doctor, and what you expect in aftercare if you're going to get a pain pump, if they're going to try to push you out, you know, and not keep you. What is their plan for managing your pain straight post-op? And then also to alleviate some fears, because day 2 really is not that bad. I took it easy. I still haven't taken off my puncture wound thing, so I still haven't taken that off. I will do it tomorrow. Sorry, I didn't get my antibiotics until so late. I just was like, maybe I should keep it on there one more day, and you know, I didn't want to risk any infection. But I'll show you guys that tomorrow when I take it off and what that looks like. But yeah, I just wanted to offer some support and encouragement and information, because I know like this procedure's scary kind of, and you know, you want to know what to expect. But I had everything I needed. I didn't have to move around so much this second day. So from my experience, it wasn't bad at all. Okay. All right. I'll keep you posted on how it goes.